This is Hayes Q Jones, your DVD and Blu-ray baller on a budget, and this is HQ Videos for you. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're a current subscriber, what's up? You greatly appreciate it. Come on in, make yourself at home. You know the routine. This week for my collection video, wanted to do a update on my Shout Factory box collection. Shout Factory and Kino Lorber are probably my two favorite boutique labels. They're able to capture a lot of the 80s, 70s, 90s, some straight to VHS movies that I haven't seen in years. A lot of these will be old television shows, and watching these again 20, 30 plus years later is kind of like going back to the future. When I originally saw a lot of these shows, they were like on a little square tube television with the sound coming out of one speaker. Now we have 4K television, Dolby surround sound. So watching them is like almost a new experience, yet still had that nostalgia to it. So, and I didn't realize that as I'm doing this that the video's gonna be so long. So stick around to the end, have some bangers at the end. Now, without further ado, sit back, relax, have a drink of a smoke, and I'll catch you on the other end of this video. We're back at the Black Cave. Back at the Black Cave. We are back at the motherfucking Black Cave. Just gonna jump into my Shout Factory box collection and specialty items. First one, I believe this is from the 70s or early 80s. WKRP in Cincinnati. Used to love this show, 1978 to 1980. So, Venus Flytrap, Lonnie Anderson, Les Nessman. Can't believe I can't think of his name. Howard Hessman, I think was his name. Johnny Fever. So, funny show about a radio station run by his mother, who was initially a Christian station, I believe, and they turned into a rock and roll station. And I believe for a while they had some issues with this because they had so many licensing issues because of all the rock music and commercial music they used to play. And I haven't watched this yet, so I don't know if they scrubbed the music from there or they made some kind of agreement with the various artists. So, and if you know, leave it in the comments. I just haven't taken the time to look that up. Season 3. This is season 4. And this is the special features disc. So, WKRP in Cincinnati, television classic, television gold. Okay, now the next one, I believe I got this from Hamilton Book, but I haven't watched it yet. Next one is Wilfred. Yeah, it looks crazy, but it actually lasted, what, 3 seasons? Let's see. They didn't do a good job with this box set. But I think it lasted 1 or 2 seasons. Season 1. Season 2. Was it just 2 seasons? This is only 2 seasons maybe though. But if you've seen this, let me know. Again, I haven't had a chance to watch this. Wilfred. And this is Shout Factory. Another 70s television show. Welcome Back, Kotter. And if you know, you know, this is, I think, one of the jump offs for John Travolta. He played Vinny Boom Boom. What is it? Vinny Boom Boom. Can't think of his last name. Let's see here. Season 1 here. That was season 2. That was season 2. Season 1. And before there was Geraldo Rivera, there was Juan Epstein, the Jewish Puerto Rican. That's Boom Boom. What was John Travolta's name? That was Boom Boom here. Let's see if it says here. Sweat Hogs. Vinny Barbarino. That's his name. Just popped in my head. Vinny Barbarino, Juan Epstein, Mr. Carter, Horshack over here. That was Boom Boom. I think they call him that because he played ball. Great show from the 70s. Love the theme song. Welcome Back, Kotter. Trying to get this back in here so I don't make a huge mess putting this stuff back. Not the sturdiest boxer, but I've seen worse. And the bonus book. I love when they have the little extra bonuses in there. Bonus books. Welcome Back, Kotter. Next, another show I haven't seen yet, but this is a show that I think catapulted James Franco. No, this was the second part. The second part of Freaks and Geeks Undeclared. Early 2000s. I know he's been in a lot of movies. I can't think of his name right there. Seth Rogen, of course. And he looks somewhat familiar. But this is, I'm assuming, like the college years from Freaks and Geeks. Again, I haven't had a chance to watch this or the other show, but if you've seen these, is that Kevin Hart? That's not Kevin Hart, is it? Well, it looks like Kevin Hart. So, Undeclared. I like this a little bit more sturdy presentation. Undeclared, the complete series. Next, another show from the 70s I grew up with, Punky Brewster. Essentially, you have this kid being raised, I think, by this police chief. And basically the exploits of her and her best friend, Six. Been years since I've seen this. Lasted 4 seasons. Punky Brewster. And honestly, it's been so long, I don't remember any details about the show. I just know I watched it as a kid. What year was this, if it has it in there? 1984 to 1988, so yeah. Next, another show I grew up with. This is probably where I developed my love for deadpan humor. Newhart was like the king of just deadpan humor. This is really kind of dry, but yet witty humor. Newhart. And this show was hilarious. If I'm remembering correctly, this is one with the handyman. I forgot the main guy's name, but 2 guys, they're all brothers, had the same name, Daryl. This is the 2nd season. Peter Scalera, I forgot he was in there. I think he started that after Bosom Buddies, I believe. 3rd season. There we go. Larry, Daryl, and Daryl. They were hilarious to me. 3 brothers, just not the sharpest tools in the shed. 5th season. That's the final season. 6th season. Wow, I didn't realize this lasted so long. 6th season. Doing these out of order. The 4th season. The 7th season. And the final season with one of the greatest finales in television history. So 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Newhart. Next, I have The Jeffersons. You see how thick this is. And what's really amazing about a lot of these shows from the 70s and 80s, it's not like Netflix now where they have 8, 5, maybe 10 episodes per season. These people had like 30-some, 40-some, about 30-some different episodes per season. So you have to imagine the talent with the actors and the writers to keep a audience engaged for that long, for that many seasons, for that many episodes. Because it was been a lot of television shows that come and went. They were like one-hit wonders, and weren't even one-hit wonders, and maybe lasted, one season, maybe a few episodes. To in the 70s or 80s to last that long, it just shows how excellent and how iconic these shows are, or shows were. And speaking of talent, yeah, Sherman Hemsley, Mr. Jefferson, Isabel Sanford, who was actually older than him. For you trivia fans, the rock star Lenny Kravitz, who married Lisa Bonet from The Cosby Show, his mother, Roxy Roker, was on the Jeffersons. See if I get a picture of Roxy Roker. Marla Gibbs, she's been acting since the black exploitation days. She was kind of fine back in the day. That's Roxy Roker. That's Lenny Kravitz's mother, or was. She passed years ago. Billy Colt 45D. He's just really smart, appropriate for the time show. It was kind of like the anti-All in the Family show, where Archie Bunker was kind of like this real conservative. Mr. Jefferson was kind of like a more liberal, with conservative views also. So, the Jeffersons. Get these back in the box. Better box here. Of course, it's only movies. It has to be a little sturdier. Next here, another show from the 70s. This was a detective show, Heart to Heart. What year was this? 79 to 84. And I think I had a little crush on her. She was like a little hottie. And he was just kind of Mr. Cool, Robert Wagner, I believe. Final season, Heart to Heart. I love the art on the disc for this. They have like a different artwork for every disc. Good job, Shout. That's the 4th season, 3rd season. And this is kind of like the equivalent to Macmillan and Wife, which is on NBC. I think this was on ABC back in the day. A husband and wife detective team. Very charismatic, attractive couple. Solve crime and look good doing it. The 2nd season, Heart to Heart. And the 1st season from Heart to Heart. Okay. This show, I believe I watched reruns of this because I don't think I was born when this originally came out. When did this come out? I think this was like the 60s possibly. No, 72. So I was alive when this came out. Okay. Green Acres is a place to be. Farm living is the life for me. And essentially this was a guy from Manhattan, well, a couple from Manhattan. He gets a bug up his butt to live in the country. He's tired of the city life, and he convinces his very bougie, very upscale Manhattan wife to give all that up and to go to the country and live a country life. And it's all about their interaction with the locals. They have a dude who has a pig for a friend, a very intelligent pig too. He's attempting to finish his house, and the house is kind of half built, half not. You get the closet that leads directly to outside. So just great early 70s fun. I believe the first season might actually be in black and white. I'm not positive. Green Acres. And I think this is in the same universe as Petticoat Junction, another kind of country sitcom from back in the day. Green Acres. Next is something I remember when it debuted. It was like the goofiest, silliest show. This grown guy, Chris Elliott, who is a paper boy who lives with his family. I think he's like 30-some years old. And he is just like the most obnoxious smartass who thinks he's all that, who's a paper boy in his 30s living in his parents' basement. So the whole stick is about that. And Chris Elliott is just one of those actors, either you like him or you don't. There's no really middle ground. If you ever seen the movie Cabin Boy, essentially that's Get a Life. That's just him in Get a Life. The complete series, Get a Life. And this is in the 80s, 90s, 1990, 1992. All time just starts to collapse on itself, and 10 years sometimes seems like 5, or 20 like 10. Get a Life. Next, despite what you might feel about him, excellent show. He has a history of fantastic shows. This is before The Cosby Show. I believe this is around the time he did The Fat Albert Show. This was 69 to 70. Great theme show, great theme song by Quincy Jones. I believe he was a gym coach at the time. Oops. Cosby Show, it's the second season. This is the first season. I believe this might be out of print. The Bill Cosby Show. I need to see if I Spy is available. That was actually his, I believe, his first show with Culp, I believe. Back to the Bob Newhart Show. Grew up watching reruns of this. This was back in, what year? It was 72. Again, more dry bedpan humor. Seasons 5 and 6. Seasons 3 and 4. Seasons 1 and 2. Bob Newhart Show. Got the bonus disc here. He was a psychiatrist, I believe. Yeah, psychologist, not psychiatrist, psychologist. That was his wife. barely remember this show. Again, it's been years. I was a little kid watching this. And again, back in the 70s and 80s, this is before we had cable television, so you didn't have a whole lot of options of things to watch. A lot of times you watch the same things that the adults watched. So I think it's why Gen X individuals kind of overlap with the baby boomers a little bit culturally. So we grew up around them watching the same stuff and essentially listening to the same stuff that they did. So, and eventually we came into our own. The Bob Newhart Show. Next, we have a show from the 74 to 77, Barney Miller. Another great theme song. I was thinking about the 70s, a very catchy theme song. This was a show, a detective show, a sitcom about a bunch of detectives. Barney Miller, of course. He has Hal Linden, Ron Glass. He was the intellectual of the group. He was a guy who was I think he was a beat officer who wanted to be a detective. That was like the old lieutenant or colonel. That's 7 and 8. Seasons 5 and 6. Wojciechowicz there. I think it was Max Baer. I think that was his name. Abe Vigoda. For you trivia fans, Abe Vigoda was actually in the first Godfather. He was one of the mobsters. You have seasons 1 and 2. And you see how many discs there are per season. So again, these shows had to have some staying power to last that many episodes and that many seasons. And it's so popular, it actually spawned a spinoff, Fish, which essentially was Fish and his adopted children. I believe Todd Bridges from Different Strokes was one of the children that he adopted. Another great show, The Barney Miller Show. Nice box too, nice sturdy box. Next, we actually have a trilogy of movies, a Street Fighter trilogy with Sonny Chiba. Was not very impressed. He's nothing like Jackie Chan or Bruce Lee. He's more just kind of brute force. So, Street Fighter. Return of the Street Fighter and the Street Fighter's Last Revenge. I believe there's a Lady Street Fighter also. Next, back to television shows. One of my first favorite sci-fi shows, Space 1999. Started in 74. Only had 2 seasons. It was a very expensive show, to my understanding. It was Martin Landau and Barbara Bain. If you ever watched Mission Impossible, see, that's season 1. It was kind of a show that was ahead of its time. Space 1999, year 1. And year 2. and the special features. And this is something I added to it. This does not come with the set. This is just a 4-episode 3D version of Space 1999. So I just kind of threw that in there. It does not come with the Shout Factory package. Some little Hayes Jones put in a little something, something. Space 1999. Next we have the Ring Collection. I think this is the only one that's in 4K. And again, not a huge 4K fan, but it was actually, I think, comparable to getting, I think, Ring 2. I think that might have been out of print on Blu-ray. And I think I got a pretty good deal on this. The Ring, which is actually an adaptation, just Korean, of Ringu, which looks really creepy, really creepy. However, I think I watched the English dub, and they really never got the English dub voices that great. They sound kind of goofy though, but visually very horrifying, very scary looking. Ring 2, the 4K and the Blu-ray. That is the Ring Collection in 4K. Next, we have the Record or REC collection. This is a zombie collection. However, this is in Spanish. The first one I think is dubbed. The rest were all in Spanish. I think I've only seen the first 2, but pretty decent. And also something I added, the 3D version of Record, which does not come with the Shout Factory, is something I threw in. REC, the first one. REC 2, Fear Revisited. Fear 3, Genesis. I don't think I got that far in the series. If you finished the series, leave it in the comments. Let me know how 3 and 4, or how you felt about the whole collection. And the final one, Apocalypse. And that is the REC 4-film quadrology. Quadrology, is that a word? Next, I actually had to buy this twice. I forgot where I got it from the first time, but they actually duplicated one of the discs. I was actually missing at 2 of the same movie. So I had to buy this again. It's Alyssa Milano. I haven't watched this one. I think I've seen Poison Ivy. I don't think I've seen the rest. And it's been years. When did Poison Ivy come out? When was that? 90s, 92. Next, we have the Pink Panther collection, which was out of print. Now you can actually get a decent Blu-ray copy of this on Hamilton Book. I think it's like $75. And I think Kino is coming out with a 4K set of this, which I don't need really. I'm happy with this. I have a couple other Kino Blu-rays of the Pink Panther without Peter Sellers. I think David Nivens is one of the Panthers in that movie, Pink Panthers. And I know Steve Martin, who I like as a comic and an actor. He did the reboot of Pink Panther, but just wasn't the same. Peter Sellers is just very unique. David Niven's right there. Very unique actor and just very quirky and just perfect for the Pink Panther. And anyone that tries to recreate that, I think is just going to fall short. It's just this. Even David Niven's the ones that preceded him. Peter Sellers is the best Pink Panther in my opinion. The Pink Panther collection. Winding down here. I love this box. The Omen collection, the deluxe edition. There was another, I don't know if it's Sony that had one, but they didn't have the final conflict. But you have the original. Oh, is that Gregory Peck? Yeah, Gregory Peck. Great movie. Great movie. Still holds up to this day. Even though it's an older movie, still holds up to this day. The original Omen. Then you have Damien Omen 2 with Lee Grant, William Holden. Also a really good movie. Omen 2. Then you had, is that Sam Neill? Yeah, Sam Neill. Excellent job playing Damien Omen for the trilogy. Then you had Omen 4, which I believe went straight to video, and I believe this is Damien's daughter. I believe I've seen this years ago. Not as great as the first three, of course, for those great trilogy of movies. They probably could have left this off, though. Then they did the remake of The Omen. That was Kirsten Dunst. No, it's the other one. Julia Stiles. I get them two mixed up sometimes. And the J card in there, and very nice box. So this is the Omen collection. I believe this is also available on Hamilton Book if you want to pick it up for a pretty decent price. I think I still might have gotten a little bit cheaper than Hamilton Book. Damien Omen Deluxe Edition. Next we have Eddie Murphy, the Nutty Professor collection. I think there was another deal where it was cheaper to get this than get the Nutty Professor 2 on Blu-ray. So, and this is just comic genius for him to play all those different characters and get the timing right, and just a hilarious movie. And this is, I think, my introduction to Dave Chappelle. I have a picture of him on there, but I remember him being in there. So fantastic. This is Eddie at his most talented. The Nutty Professor. Next we have the Oh God collection. This is more of a Gen X baby boomer. George Burns, he was always known for smoking cigars. He goes back to the vaudeville days. He had vaudeville days. He had a show in Bob Denver with Burns and Allen, I believe. But this is where he actually plays God. So I haven't watched this in a while. I'd love to get back into this. Oh God, the collection. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God Book 2, and Oh God You Devil. Oh, where he plays the devil and God. Almost forgot about that. Next, the Jackie Chan Collection, Volume 1. It's from 76 to 82. And this is not even close to his collection. He has so many movies. I think it's in the hundreds of movies he's made. But this is Killer Meteors, Shaolin Wooden Men, To Kill with Intrigue, Snake and Crane, Arts of Shaolin, Dragon Fist, Battle Creek Brawl, and Dragon Lord. And this one, he's much younger, and his stunts are off the chain. His quickness, and what's great about a lot of his movies, especially his, I think in the movies in the 80s, in the outtakes, he shows you the outtakes of his stunts, and a lot of the stunts he's actually injured in. This is Winners and Sinners, Wheels on Meals, The Protector, Twinkle Twinkle Lucky Stars. I think those are with Sammo Hung. Armor of God 2, great movies, Crime Story, and City Hunter. This is Volume 2 of Jackie Chan. Let's see. That's not the trilogy I was thinking of. Jackie Chan Collection Volume 2. Next, we have the It's Alive trilogy. It's Alive, It Lives Again, Island of the Alive. This is like the Demon Baby. This is just great B horror. It's Alive, whatever it is. And this baby is a vicious baby, as you can see. And that's the reverse art. That's the original art. It's Alive. It Lives Again. Yeah, so many great movies, not enough time. I'd love to go get through this again. It's Alive 2. And Island of the Alive, It's Alive 3. And that's a good thing about having a physical collection. You don't have to worry about it leaving Netflix or Prime or Paramount. You can watch it whenever you have time at your leisure because it's in your collection. Okay, It's Alive trilogy. Next, the most disturbing movie I've ever seen, Human Centipede. I've mentioned this several times before on my channel. Human Centipede 2, and Human Centipede 3. I've only seen the first one. The first one was so disturbing. You have to be in the right frame of mind to actually watch this. I believe this is out of print, probably for good reason. The Human Centipede, most disturbing movie I've ever seen. I mentioned this earlier. Freaks and Geeks, haven't watched this yet. This is where Seth Rogen and James Franco, I think, got their claim to fame. This is both the same, but one is widescreen and one is square like the old TVs used to be. And the discs are stacked, but they're the same. That's the widescreen version. And this is the original broadcast aspect ratio for the old TVs. This is the extras here. And again, if you've seen this show, let me know what you thought about it. Nice color booklet here. And you have the bonus disc of extras. Freaks and Geeks. Next, we have the Fly collection. I believe this is also available on Hamilton Book. And no, I don't advertise for them though, but just like to share the information. If you want to get your budget bargain on. This is The Fly with Jeff Goldblum, which is actually a remake of the Vincent Price. Great remake though. Jeff Goldblum and Gina Davis, I believe. I think they dated for a while. The Fly 2, which did not have Jeff Goldblum or Gina Davis, and was not as good as the first. Decent movie, but nowhere close to the first one. You have the original Fly with Vincent Price, which still holds up today, even in black and white. Yeah, the old Vincent Price. Great voice. Great presence. The Fly. Return of the Fly. I haven't seen this one in a minute. I haven't seen all of these in a minute. Return of the Fly. And the Curse of the Fly. It's amazing what they did with the black and white movies and still make them creepy and menacing without the use of color. So great movies. If you haven't seen these, definitely check them out, especially if you're a horror connoisseur. The Fly collection. Next, very funny guy, Don Knotts collection. The Ghost of Mr. Chicken, love that movie. The Reluctant Astronaut, the shakiest gun in the West, The Love God, very funny, and How to Frame a Fig. And he had a long career. I mean, he was on the Mayberry RFD, the Andy Griffin Show. Later on in life, he did Three's Company as Mr. Furley. Take the place of Mr. Roper. Next, I believe this is also available on Hamilton Book, the Critters collection. This is what I consider a midnight movie back in the day when there weren't any major pictures out. You know, Schwarzenegger, Van Damme, Seagal, Eddie Murphy. You go to the B movies, and these are just silly 90s, 80s movies. You have Critters. Just again, kind of mindless sci-fi, B-real movie stuff. Critters 2, the main course. Got the flip art. Critters 3, You Are What You Eat. Flip art. And Critters 4, They're Invading Your Space. And there's a Critters 5, They Attack. That's not Shout Factory. They should let it go at Critters 4, to be honest with you. Some things are better left dead. So, see, Critters collection. Again, I think you can get a Hamilton book. I just picked this up recently. Casper the Friendly Ghost. Used to watch reruns of those cartoons because I was not alive from 45 to 63. My mother was. My mother is alive, but she was alive during that time period. Casper and Wendy. And they also had comic books too. Casper the Friendly Ghost. And they did a live action movie too, I think in the late 90s, early 2000s. Wasn't bad. And we're winding towards the end here. The Billy Jack trilogy. Born Losers, quadrilogy, 4 movies. Born Losers, Billy Jack, The Trial of Billy Jack, Billy Jack Goes to Washington. And this movie, a little intense, comical in some parts. He's part Native American, but yeah, you have people in there, it's like, get out of here, redskin, and they're darker than him, so it's somewhat comical in certain parts. So, but interesting, kind of not action movie though, but drama thriller with minimal action in there. Billy Jack. And the last one, the Amityville Horror Trilogy. I believe this is also out of print. You can get the Amityville. I believe you can still get it on Blu-ray. You probably get it on 4K now. Great horror movie. This is Margot Kidder. James Brolin, Josh Brolin's daddy, and Margot Kidder. Amityville 2, The Possession. Not as good as the first, of course. Back art. And I believe this is the one that's out of print, which makes the whole set out of print. Amityville 3D, which I'm not even sure if I've seen or not. Amityville 3D. And that is the Amityville Shout Factory collection. Here we go. And this is my Shout Factory box collection update 2025. Make sure you guys stick around because I have some more Shout Factory box sets that you'll be seeing upcoming in 2025. So make sure you stick around. If you made this far in the video, smash the like. Give me the big thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe. Share this with your other movie-loving friends. Other than that, may the best of your past be the worst of your future. Everyone, please be safe. Deuces.